It's funny how, with everything that's happened since the pandemic, it's easy to label every year that follows as disastrous at worst or mundane at best. It shouldn't be. Like all great stories I've read, the concept of black and white have no depth compared to the complexity of a gray area that gives the full picture. And just like this year, it's not black, it's not white. It's gray and silver and gold and red and purple and that many wonderful colors that go in between. Admittedly, 2021 hasn't exactly been my best year in terms of anything, but it isn't my worst either. Most days, I find myself at home, counting the days when life would go back to even just a semblance of a comfort that the old normal brought. There are days that allowed me freedom to roam, but still shackled with fear, apprehensive of what the new adventures would bring to me and to everyone around me. Is there really freedom when there is fear? That's a question for another time. The point is, most days I find myself at a standstill, wondering if it's just me or has life seemed to have halted completely. In the quiet of my days, I had fear that the world had stopped. But in doing so, I had also learned to stop and appreciate life. It sounds so cliche, I know, but sometimes when things are too fast-paced, with all the anchors up with full speed ahead, we fail to see the minuscule details that just makes life, well, life. We lose sight of the fact that what we have now is already a manifestation of what we only prayed for before. Not to say we prayed for the world to halt, but for it to slow down enough to let us breathe. Before COVID took over, there was an unconscious constant struggle on my part to keep moving forward in fast-paced rhythmic rumblings. There was a constant need to want more, be more, achieve more, to achieve this greatness that is expected of us in a certain age. And in our pursuit of this greatness, we forget that we already are, well, great. That life is already great. Snippets of my everyday in 2021 made me appreciate how absolutely wonderful my life is. Granted, it's not perfect, but there is something to be thankful for each day. Little pockets of peace that goes a long way. The relationships I've nurtured and built in all forms. The comfort in my growth as a person, albeit as seamless as possible. Taking a moment every day to appreciate what life brought gave a sense of peace. Maybe you've got it all figured out by now. Or maybe like me, you're still testing your options. But wherever you are, right now, right this second, you're in this season for a reason. So embrace it. Grow with it. We're so obsessed with finding meaning and purpose in anything we do that we forget to actually live the moment. To take in every minute of it. Every second if possible. It sounds a bit ideal, I know. A bit romanticized. But maybe that's it. We need to romanticize our lives in a way that we appreciate every minuscule part of it to make each day count. Titanic reference. So start romanticizing your life. You have to start thinking of yourself as the main character. Be your own heroine. Slay your own demons. Live your life in your own terms and nobody else's. Because if you don't, life will continue to pass you by, and all those little things that make it so wonderful will continue to go unnoticed. So take a second and look around. Appreciate life. Do something that sparks your joy. Spread a little more light. Be the good you want to see in the world. And realize it's a blessing for you to be here right now, in this exact moment. Be content, but not to the point of not achieving anything more, but content of knowing that when the time is right, God will will it to be so. And if by some twisted fate, whatever you pray for does not end up happening, trust that God has better plans. Happiness is not something you find, it's something you choose, and you have to continue to choose it every day. So that is the summary of my 2021, an ode to my gratitude and appreciation of this crazy little thing called life. A season of standstill and hope. So if you've been part of it, thank you. Here's hoping to an even more wonderful new year for us all. How was your 2021?